No, 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 no. Wait. How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and it looks like NetherRealm has finally confirmed our biggest fear. After about half a year of radio silence, they have confirmed that Mortal Kombat 11 is getting no new content, at least not in terms of DLC. For a short time, some did think a final update might be coming, but it seems like that has also been deconfirmed as well. So in terms of new content for Mortal Kombat 11, there's nothing else coming. So with that in mind, I wanted to make a video about my biggest regrets for this game, and I request that you do the same in the comment section down below. What is your biggest regret about Mortal Kombat 11? Without any further ado, let's get started. And what better place to start than with this fantastic new Ermak design that will never be playable in an actual match. The most we get to see of this costume is Ermak plummeting to his death, and even then it only happens once in the crypt. I think this new costume design might be one of the biggest teases in video game history, at least for fighting games. Never in my life have I seen a brand new design for a character that is completely done, but then that character is never actually playable in the game. I even made a joke a while back that Shang Tsung, when he turns into Ermak, should have the option to wear this skin, because then at the very least we can kind of use it, but sadly no, it's not in the game and it's never going to be in the game. Which is so fascinating because other characters do return in the game that aren't playable, but they don't get new skin designs. In fact, even Melina in some of the arcade endings did not have her MK11 look. But then we have Ermak, who had a brand new design from the very beginning. Some would argue his best design in the entire Mortal Kombat series, and yet we never get to use it. If that's not regret, then I don't know what is. And then next up we have the Kitana skull mask. This thing is fully functional. We see it in story mode. You can beat up the character, use interactables on her, and it all works just fine. However, just like Ermak's costume, we can never use this in the game ourselves, despite it being around since the very first day the game was out. I believe at one point this mask was even in the source code of the game, so you could find it in the program files, but even so, we never got to use this amazing mask. Instead, the best we got is Kitana wearing it on top of her head, kind of like a fancy baseball cap. And don't get me wrong, I love that mask. It's one of my favorite in the entire game, but I would like to have the option to wear this. Why is the AI able to have it, but I can't? What is this disgusting bias towards the machines in NetherRealm? How come they can enjoy this amazing mask, but I can't? Once again, a big regret for Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, but now we have the big one. I think this might be the biggest regret of many players. Certain characters like Cyrax, Sector, and even Kronika can be made fully playable with mods. You can pick up your controller and have a good old time. However, even so, NetherRealm has never allowed the average player to do so. If you don't know how to mod or you're not playing on PC, you just can't do this. And don't get me wrong, I understand they would be completely broken online and should not be allowed in competitive modes, but why not a tower or something? Why not let me play as Sector and Cyrax in a fun mode like that? And even Kronika, give me a tower just for the boss. That would be a lot of fun. Once again, they're fully playable with mods. For the most part, they function like every other character, though they are missing intro dialogues. You can't do fatalities on them properly, and I don't think they use the meter system either. But once again, they'd still be perfect for towers or any mode like that. Anything non-competitive, let me play as the NPCs. I don't want to have to mod the game. That can get me banned. I've seen it. Why can't I play as these amazing characters? And once again, just like Ermak, Sector and Cyrax both got sick new redesigns, but you can't play as them. Alright, and this next regret is extra personal for me. Shoutouts to TQT for getting these images. Why can't we use the hoodie that Frost has in story mode? Once again, it functions just fine during gameplay, but you can't wear it. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks really sick, and it's perfect because Frost already has that kind of monk warrior pose for her idol stance, so this outfit fits perfectly. Now, it does have some weird clipping errors here and there, but that could have easily been fixed. And once again, look how amazing it is in gameplay. It does have some awkward moments during intro dialogues because the hoodie does not turn with Frost's head, so she's just staring at the hoodie. But honestly, who cares? We all skip the intro dialogues at this point anyway. Look how amazing this hoodie looks during actual gameplay, and we see it in cutscenes, so we know that it works. I don't see why it was never an option to wear this. If you're interested, you can actually watch full combo videos of people using this outfit. Once again, modders get to have all the fun, and they have access to the skins, but I don't. And then there's one more costume debacle that I wanted to talk about. I'm pretty sure at one point in time, both Liu Kang and Kung Lao had these Kotal Khan outfits that were actually in the game files. And a lot of people thought these would would be in the next Kombat League season or just some free DLC, because the characters already wear them in story mode. You can see them working as intended. And we also had characters like Kano, Johnny Cage, and Jade all wearing similar outfits, so a lot of us thought it was coming for Kung Lao and Liu Kang as well. However, oddly enough, everybody was wrong and those costumes never came, and I'm once again wondering why. Was it a similar situation to the Kitana skull mask where it was in the files at one point, but then somebody just said, nope, we can't do it, we don't have time to implement it, so we're not gonna add them? What happened there? Once again, I'm confused about the whole thing. And then for the OCD people watching, myself included, we never get to have the perfect rectangle in Mortal Kombat 11. That's definitely some regretful vibes. I'm certain that a lot of you watching only wanted 5 more characters because that would give us a perfect rectangle on the roster, but sadly that perfect rectangle is never going to come. I feel extra bad for anybody with a super strong OCD because this is going to really mess up your whole year. I honestly do think that NetherRealm was considering a final pack of characters, maybe not recently, but I think at some point they're like, yeah, let's give like a few more characters as one final hoorah, but for one reason or another they just couldn't make it happen. And then my final regrets for Mortal Kombat 11 are all going to be gameplay related. So for starters, what's the deal with some of the moves in the custom variation system? Some of the worst moves in the game are still 2 slots, and some of the best moves in the game that are honestly too good are still only 1 slot. What's going on with that? I understand that balancing the move itself can be difficult, but how hard is it to make a terrible move just 1 slot and a really good move just 2 slots? How hard is that to actually do? In fact, if it was me, I wouldn't even do anything to the really good 1 slot moves, but I would at least make the bad moves only 1 slot. Why are they 2? What an insult to injury. That's just rubbing salt on the wound. And this next regret actually came to me while I was making the video, so I didn't even have this part written down in my script. It just popped into my head. NetherRealm still has so many moves in this game that you are never allowed to use in competitive plays, so that goes for Combat League or tournaments. And look, for some of these moves I understand, like ground ice is just way too good in its current state. For anyone who's not aware, there are setups that guarantee this move, and nothing you do can escape it. Literally nothing. And as a result, Sub-Zero gets some guaranteed resets and all that annoying stuff, but there had to have been ways to nerf it. Maybe have it cost 1 bar of meter, maybe 1 offense and 1 defensive bar, because that way even if it was guaranteed, he can only do it twice, or even better, make it cost 2 defensive bars like a far teleport. That way he can only do it once and then it has to refill. You see what I mean? There are ways to balance these moves even though they're banned. They could have been reworked, but sadly NetherRealm just never fixed them. But then on top of that, you have moves that never should have been banned in the first place, like Killer Clot. What's wrong with this move? Yeah, it disables the opponent's special cancels, but what if it just costs Scarlet 1 bar? What's wrong with that? Or once again, have it cost 1 defensive bar and 1 offensive bar. That way she just can't abuse it. I don't see how this move is that busted. Keep in mind, Terminator already has a move very similar to this where it disables the opponent's meter, and that move is completely viable and legal. It's not banned. And then some characters just have it rough, like Garrus, and I know nobody feels bad for Garrus at this point in time, but the guy has 2 different banned moves. One of them is just coming back to life, and moves of this nature are actually banned for every single character. Nobody can come back no matter how bad the move actually is, like Terminator's Terminate. I've gone on record saying that move is the worst move in the entire game, and it absolutely is, but even so, it's banned for no real reason. And the same is true for Reawakened. It's not that great, and Lost Time and Spare Time, yeah, these could be annoying, but once again, maybe have them cost some meter. Have it cost 2 defensive bars. I don't know, something. I'm just being real with you. Some of these fixes are not that hard to figure out, and I think Sindel's might be the easiest to fix. So Enhanced Regal Presence actually has an infinite, but there's a pretty easy fix to that. Just don't let her use the same option twice in the same combo. Limits like this already exist in Mortal Kombat 11, so just do the same thing for her. This move doesn't have to be banned, and also, why is it 2 slots? It's not that great. Or at least it wouldn't be after you remove that nerf. And there's actually one more move that belongs in the why is this banned category, and that's RoboCop's trick shot. So he actually shoots the screen, and it does make this weird crack effect, and I think the developers were concerned because that obscures the player's vision, but just replace it with a different PNG file, make it not quite as disruptive. Or in fact, just have the crack not show up altogether in competitive play. There's actually very easy workarounds to code that. At the end of the day, most players are going to be in competitive modes, and as a result, there are so many moves that you're just never going to see, like Mother Bug. I want to see this move at high level. How silly would it be as a timer scam? Maybe it's just me, but I'd rather a game be creative and wild than restricted and more balanced. I just want an option to mess around with all these moves, especially now that the game is officially not getting any more content. Having this many moves be banned at the end of a game's life cycle is a very big regret indeed. And then finally, a regret that I've mentioned in past videos, I wish we had more control options in the game's menu. I'm tired of getting breakaway just because I blocked low a frame too late. Why can't I make breakaway a different button? Why can't I I make interactables a different button than amplify. Options like that would be amazing. Once again, on Patreon, I actually train people, and a lot of newcomers hate the fact that so many buttons do multiple things, and I don't get why we can't change that. And sadly, Mortal Kombat 11 is done, and we're never going to get the option. And keep in mind, those problems don't just happen to casual players. I've seen pro players make mistakes due to those weird controller options as well. So I hope in the future NetherRealm just lets the block button be block, and just lets the amplify button be amplify, and makes the interactable something completely different. And then finally, don't have the left trigger do absolutely anything outside of Fatal Blow or X-Ray. I'm tired of it standing my character in place because I wanted to do a certain move. Why do some attacks require left trigger and not others? It's really annoying. At the very least, can I please disable that stance switch move? I'm tired of getting it by accident, my goodness. But alright everyone, that's about it for me. My biggest regrets for Mortal Kombat 11 now that it's officially over. Once again, let me know your biggest regrets in the comment section down below. And then while you're down there, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton, and YouTube's new algorithm is being really rough on the channel lately, so I really do need your help with a like and a share if you could. And then if you haven't already, make sure to suplex that subscribe button. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.